You are not alone. Regardless of what you may be experiencing in your life right now, regardless of the challenges that you may be experiencing in your life right now, even those tough situations that you may be facing and experiencing in your life right now, whatever your circumstances may be right now, you are not alone. Many people in the world experience stuff. We all go through things. We all experience challenges. We all experience tough situations. And we also experience things that we wonder if we gonna get ourselves up out of. But what makes it different for each of us is some of us react to that of what we experience, and some of us learn to respond to what we experience here. So, first of all, the first message is coming through is letting you know that you're not alone. We're going to dive a little deeper. But what I'm feeling here is don't try to single yourself out. Run away from things that you know you need to face. Try to numb the feeling and hide. Try to run away from the thing that hurts inside, knowing it's just going to come right back here. You're trying to keep yourself in a space that you really don't want to be in. And that's by getting caught in those same patterns that you have to recognize for yourself. What I want to talk about, and also you always got source, you always got your team, that as well. You're never alone. You're not doing this by yourself, okay? But we all go through things. When you hear about, people being on their spiritual journey, and you hear about souls reaching higher levels, and even you guided here are reaching higher levels in your life as well, right? But a lot of times when you hear about spirituality, you always hear love and light. You don't ever hear too much about the darker aspects of it. The deaths, the rebirths, the rebirths, the shadow work, the pain that you experience, right? Having to face your own self, right? Feeling like you're crazy at times. Wondering if what you are experiencing, is it real or is it not? Are you the only one going through what you are going through, right? And I feel like this could be something that's very helpful to people, because you can understand that when you first get in the journey and you start doing anything new, things are going to crumble and fall apart. This is what causes a lot of people to run. What makes it different from those who actually reach higher levels is they face what needs to be faced. They feel what needs to be felt. They actually accept what is happening in their lives, even if they do not understand what is going on. I'm getting people start to walk out of your life. People may start to judge you and look at you like you crazy, right? Because you choose to do something new and different with your life, or because you choose to work on yourself. This may not be the ideal thing for some of the people that you may have kept around you in your life. So yes, sometimes it can feel lonely, but you are never alone here. I get this feeling besides, like, it doesn't matter what room I put you in, unless I put you in a room with like-minded souls. The rooms that you may put yourself in, or, have to experience and go through in your life, or, like the people you may be around, right? You even feel alone with those people. You don't feel heard. You don't feel seen, and you don't feel like you fit in. But the comfort of having those people around It's much easier because it allows you to distract yourself from what you really are feeling inside. This is going in a direction I had no idea of. So take this message how it resonates here for you. You came here to conquer your battles. Maybe I got some people here that are new to the journey, and that's why this video is coming through here today, right? And some of you who've been on the journey, I got some for you too, but you're receiving a lot of insight and confirmation here. So let the people know down below in the comment section how it is. Feel free to do so, and also write down how this video is resonating with you here today, right? So when we think about going and walking on our spiritual journey, it is not all love and light. It is a lot of darkness before the light that you begin to understand later. You first must go through the darkness. This is where you are born. Like, this is where you are built. This is where you are shaped, just like a beautiful diamond. It is through the rough and tough things in life. Okay. When you're on your journey in a certain level, right? Because there's levels to this. There's no superiority. There's only levels. So you begin to understand as you go along and reach higher levels here, right? So as you're going along on your journey, the most important thing to do, regardless of how uncomfortable it is to trust what you are experiencing, even if it feels like your world is collapsing and falling apart. You may be having strange experiences within yourself. You may be feeling things, seeing things. You start to wake up and see things that you never saw before in a whole new way. You start to see people differently. Like, all these things happen, right? And the more you wake up, the more aware you become, the more you know, the more challenging it is. So my point is that it never gets easier. What I do want to say is, why does it seem easier at higher levels? Maybe you see certain people and you wonder, like, how are they staying calm? You know what I'm saying? They're talking about this chaos. They're talking about these experiences, but how are they staying calm? You know, is that you learn how to operate. At certain levels, you have problems. At higher levels, you have solutions. You get what I'm saying? Those problems are no longer seen as problems anymore. They are seen as solutions, because you always have a solution to any problem. At higher levels, you begin to understand that everything is happening for you, regardless if you don't understand it in that moment, which takes me to, you are okay with not understanding and knowing everything and wondering how it's all going to unfold and come together. You're okay with not knowing, right? And you learn to trust the unknown and the unseen forces and allow them to guide you. You know that you are not a victim as you raise to higher levels, right? You know that you are the creator of your reality here. You know that you create things and you become conscious of that, right? You also become very mindful of the words that you speak. Does this mean at higher levels you will not experience challenges? No, I'm telling you, you are not alone. You will experience challenges. Everybody will always experience challenges forever. And I'm getting like, no one will know everything at all this lifetime. So be mindful of people tell you that they know everything, okay? You can sense that. You feel me? But my point is, like, what is life without the challenges? It is because you can look around in your life and see that through those challenges, when you might have felt like you didn't know how you was going to get through something, when you figured it out, it empowered you, right? It allowed you to see something different in a new way. So challenges are always going to be on our path. See, as you grow to higher levels, you be ready for those challenges, because you know it's growth time, baby. It's growth time. That doesn't mean that you don't experience sadness. It doesn't mean that you might not experience feeling a little lonely at times, because you know you're not alone. That's two different things, lonely and alone. You know you're not alone, but you may feel lonely at times because most people that you have around you may not resonate with you until you attract in your tribe here, right? And that's the good thing about the internet, right? You can literally attract on your timeline like-minded souls like this video who understand more about you than people that you may have around you. People who understand and speak a certain language that speaks to your soul and is so helpful and lets you know that you're not crazy, but you can already understand that within yourself that you're not, right? You're just experiencing something completely different than others that you may have around you here. And when I'm getting so many people are plugged in, you start to see how many people are plugged in and how many people are slaves to the system, and you respect where they are. At first, it goes to a point where it can be frustrating. You want to save them and all that, but you go through that and you heal and you start to understand that each individual here is on their own unique path and on their own unique journey, and it's respected. You understand, you learn when you start to reach higher levels into like 5D, you start to have compassion for the people. You know, a certain place in your heart, like, I don't know, you start to feel so deep in your heart where you actually start to have this compassion for people because you are looking out now through the eyes of your soul. But you still face challenges. You still go through things, right? You still grow. Things are still happening in your life. You still gonna move through chaos, but the difference is you learn how to navigate the journey, right? You learn how to move through that chaos, through all the stuff that you've experienced in the first chapter of your life, in the first levels of your life. All that wisdom you take, you eject that, integrate it within you, and you take it with you as you grow, and you don't do things that you know you're not supposed to do no more. Like, things just start to lock in place. Like, it starts to lock in and make sense. Things you've been curious about for so long start to make sense to you. So in the beginning stages and on your journey, you just got to be okay with not knowing. You got to be okay with things not making sense. You got to be okay with moving regardless of you not knowing what you're walking into and trusting the unknown. I tell you, it all plays such a bigger role. Everything adds to something, to something, to something, to something that grows so bigger that all plays a big part. There's a bigger picture to it all, even if you don't understand it as you're moving along. Even at higher levels, there are things that you start to experience in new ways that you might not understand it. Right? Sometimes you might feel a little scared and excited at the same time, but you're not going to let any fear, any scared feeling stop you. You're going to move toward that anyway, because you already know it's in the unknown is where more possibilities are. It's where miracles are, right? You learn how to trust the unseen. You really learn how to trust the unknown. You really learn to trust yourself. You really learn, like, you don't learn to trust yourself, but that's your natural thing. So I would say, because since we forget that, then we'll learn to like trust ourselves here, right? We trust ourselves more. We begin to trust ourselves more. We really start doing so, and we actually have faith, knowing that it's going to turn out the way that it needs to turn out. It's going to unfold the way that it needs to unfold. We don't need to know how. We don't need to know how. We just follow the frequency and allow ourselves to expand and grow, and that comes with challenges. Okay, we experience ups and downs sometimes, through the contraction phase in the journey. Sometimes I ain't feeling at my best. I don't be feeling my best, but when I'm not feeling my best, I take care of myself, right? I know, hey, it's okay to feel like this. I'm not mad at myself. I don't beat myself up. These are things I used to do. I just accept this is where I'm at right now. This is how I'm feeling. It's okay. This journey had never meant nothing about perfection. It's just about being real. Okay, it's about being real, and it's about being honest, and it's about keeping your cool though. It's about keeping your cool though, but it's really about being real. And if I'm gonna be real with you here today, we all go through things. We all feel things. That in higher levels, you start to be okay with feeling. You start to understand it. There is a level where you start to feel stuff so much. Your senses heighten, because throughout this you're expanding your senses as well. Your senses heighten. You start feeling so much, and you got to learn how to understand that power. Okay, that is a challenge. But like I said, it all goes together. It all comes together in a bigger picture overall. So if you hear people say, or if you're thinking that when people reach higher levels that they don't experience things, that it's easier. The only reason why it seems easier to the naked eyes is because it's how they respond. They're no longer reacting. And if they did react or get triggered, because we do, we just know how to get up out of it quicker. You feel me? And cleanse our energy and ground back down and stuff. You know, use the tools. You have tools that you keep with you, that work with you. And over time, you have to change those tools out. But some do stick with you forever, that work for you, however it works for you. But you don't get no escape pass. Like, oh man, when you get to these higher levels, everything just goes away. It's not going to be no more challenges, all that stuff, you know, that you may hear. It's not nothing like that. You just become different. You become so powerful. You start to understand yourself and how you move and how you navigate through things. And you're always growing and learning and having new experiences. And you're okay with that because you start to understand that you have to be adaptable, that change is inevitable. If I said that right, y'all, because I get tongue-tied, okay? You understand that change is constant, that it's always going to be change, and you just got to stay adaptable, okay? And you understand the importance of honoring your soul and allowing your intuition and soul to guide you, because you have your own unique path and experiences that your soul came here to experience and learn. You can't follow other people, copy other people. You got to be you and allow, you know, it's coming to me like, you probably heard it in this way, like, God has a certain life for you that's going to be built by you here, right? But you have to allow God to lead you that way, okay? Regardless of what it is that you experience and regardless of what it is that you go through, don't beat yourself up. Just know that you're always experiencing what you need to experience when you're on the right path, when you're following your soul's path, right? It don't have to make sense. You're always experiencing what you need to experience. There's no certain time. If you mess up sometimes, it's okay because they're only lessons. I messed up a whole lot. I messed up so much that I got so much knowledge from it, right? And I feel like that was a part of my soul journey. I personally feel like there are times where we could experience things in our life that maybe our soul didn't come here for us to experience, but at the end of the day, you learn from it, you still gonna gain wisdom. So I personally feel like we're always moving on the right path here, right? But I am getting like sometimes we kind of like separate ourselves from our soul. You know, like disconnection is an illusion. So we're not literally disconnected, but we kind of, you know, branch on out there and kind of feel distant from our soul. And that's why we come back home, you know, to ourselves. And this is when we begin to feel alive. That's why you hear that. We start to thrive because we begin to feel alive here. We start to call back all our energy and our power, right? And we start to understand how sacred our energy is, how our energy is literally currency. And we treat it that way. You feel me? You just got to think about money, right? How do you treat money? That's something someone must needs to hear. But what I mean is like your energy is your money. How you take care of your energy is your money. You really learn at higher levels the importance of that. And you also understand the importance of who you keep around you. Who you keep around you, who you're giving your energy to, what things you're giving your energy to. You want to make sure you're getting a return on investment and not just becoming drained. Like certain things become very important to you. So if you notice you feel drained a lot like that, you might be leaking energy. You might have cords tied to other people on other timelines that you need to cut and let go of. You just gotta. There's things that's going on that may cause you to feel that way. Sometimes we might feel restless. Sometimes you might, I don't even believe in the word tired, you feel me? But you might feel restless. You got to rest too. And you start to realize the importance of resting as well at higher levels, right? But this, at the end of the day, my whole point is that nothing goes away, like meaning like, it's just going to be easy for you because you know, you on these higher levels. No. You're going to go through what you go through. You become so much more aware sometimes. Like when I started becoming so aware, man, I cried. I cried for some of the things I seen. Like, I mean, I broke down and cried for some of the things that I see. You know, I wasn't a crier at first, but now on my journey, I allow myself to cry all the time because I notice myself always holding back tears for being so hard in life, feeling like you ain't supposed to show your weakness to nobody is what I was taught. So it took me a while to actually learn how to like cry and understand that that was my way of releasing, right? So you start to really understand a lot of things that you did not understand at first, right? And there's just so much more that I can really go into when you start to reach these higher levels. But there is no let me hurry up and get there. Let me hurry up and get there. So wherever I am right now, I can escape this. There's none of that. You never escape by bypassing. You have to face things. You have to move through the energies, right? So when you reach higher levels, you just know how to be. You just know how to be. I hope this message was helpful for you. Let me know down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, baby, and share the video. If you're new here, obviously there's some new people here. Let me know down below in the comment section and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. Okay, so you get all the newest videos that I drop. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Kelli Travel Spiritually. You heard? Remember, it's about being real. Let me leave you with the angel message here today. 1221. Taking initiative, change, optimism, joy, communication, messages, good news, expression, and high vibes. Work with what you have, and it will get you places. Count your blessings and acknowledge your dear ones. You will find inspiration and figure out a way forward. You might also be getting some good news soon. Check it out. It's just so beautiful how it just ties together with what we've been talking about. Just work with what you got. Work with where you are and work with what you got. And when you got people around you that you love, acknowledge those people, you know. People that really got your back, people who actually see you. If you're blessed to have that, especially through family, that is a blessing, you know. Just know that you're blessed blessed to have that, because that is absolutely rare. And if you don't have that, you're still blessed, because there's a reason why you incarnated in a certain family that you incarnate into. Okay, you have bigger things that you're going to be here to do, not bigger than the other person, but I'm just saying there's a reason that you're so incarnated in that family here, right? So you will find inspiration. You will always figure out how to move forward, because you're never stuck. Being stuck is absolutely an illusion. And on top of that, you got some good news coming soon here. Okay, I love y'all. Y'all keep taking care of yourself. Till next time, one love.